Hi. So, I was going to do my usual weekly review, but I went out for a drink or two. So, plus the fact not all my comics have come yet. My local comic shop, they had most of them in, but they were short on a box, which only came later on Saturday. I went very early on Saturday, but I'll be going midweek about Wednesday, so I'll pick the rest up. So I'll amalgamate last week's with this coming week's and do a review for all of them. But I'm going to focus on one comic, what I'm really, really excited about, and this is my pick of the week. And by Crom, it's a good one. So I think that's kind of like a bit of a clue. So it's Savage Sword of Conan. What's Conan? Conan by Titan. So back to the big size, old school black and white magazines. It's $6.99 and you get over 80 pages of contents inside. One main story and one backup story, and then there's a text story and a poem inside as well as some illustrations. It's very much, it's so exciting. It's even got the old school smell, the newsprint smell. Very much like, very, very, very faithful to the original run of the Savage Sword of Conan, which ran from 70s, 80s, and I think 90s, if I remember rightly. It's got a nice map. The printing's a bit off on this one. Mine's not so bad. Mine's quite clear. I know for some people it looks much more almost like photocopied. But yeah, very pleased with this. The main story is written by John Arcudi, who's done The Mask. He did a series for Image, but what has slipped my mind at the moment. But his writing style is very much reminiscent of Keith Giffen. He's very good at doing left of centre characters, so he's well suited for Conan, and it's a very, very solid one and done tale. I think it's about 50 page story, and the artwork I like. It is a bit muddy, but I think it's because the artist has like incorporated some computer shading on it. It is black and white. It's not photocopied from colour, but I think he's gone about it in a modern approach, and with black and white comics you need to do it more with just pen and ink, with is it electrotone or whatever, the one that gives you the grey tones. You're better doing it by hand than by computer, but the artwork is really nice, and the artist is Max von Fafner, who I've never heard of before. He does a very cool Conan. So this Conan, from the gist of it, it's not quite Conan the King before them, but it's not Conan the young Conan. It's somewhere in between that point. So he's very well established. He's making his living as a mercenary, and he's being hired out by this prince to help find this big promise of gold at this place where they're meant to go to. But not everything goes according to plan, let's put it that way. And there's another really good character called the Engineer. She has quite a major role in it. Really good developed character. I'd love to see her again. Very, very fun introductory character. Yeah, there's just the story beats are just so well established. There's quite a bit of dark humour in it, which is perfect for Conan. Got some of the classic Conan tropes, like I love elephants in a Conan story for some reason, and there's elephants aplenty, there's some big bad monster. I don't want to show too much, well I can't, because some of it there's quite a bit of TNA in it as well, which is tits and ass if you're unfamiliar. But the fight scenes are so dynamic. Like this is where Conan's fighting a lion, as only Conan can. And yeah, the payoff at the end, I did a little clap, I must admit. I was smiling all the way through, and there's some really good splash pages like this elephant here. Yeah, the payoff at the end was so rewarding, and it was a typical classic Conan kind of ending. Robert E. Howard would be proud. If Jim Zub ever left the regular writing on Conan, John Arcudi would be a great natural replacement for him. I would give this story 8, maybe 9 out of 10. The artwork, if it was clearer, I'd give the art 8 out of 10. Because it's a bit muddy, 6.5 out of 10. And then there's a really nice Robert E. Howard poem. I love that illustration of Conan. Oh yeah, the cover is by Joe Jusko. Bit of a legend. Brilliant, brilliant cover. There are some other alternative covers, but I do like the A cover. There's a short story by Jim Zub, the regular Conan writer, called Sacrifice in the Sand, which is based on the cover by Joe Jusko. That's the only story I've not read yet. I must read that tonight before bed. What was my biggest surprise, and in fact I think the thing I enjoyed the most, there's a Solomon Kane short story, but it's first part, I think it's a 2-parter or a 3-parter. And so it's by Patch Circa. He's actually doing the writing as well of Solomon Kane. He was a puritanical demon hunter, monster hunter. And I mean, I love Patch Circa's artwork anyway, and he really does make the most of the black and white grey tones. This is proper old school illustration, and he's well suited for Solomon Kane. I would love for him to do an ongoing Solomon Kane comic. His writings surprised me. I thought it wasn't going to be any good, but good dialogue, natural dialogue, good flow to the story, kept me invested. And yeah, it's a great mystery. Totally different in tone to Conan, and that's quite refreshing, but very much of a Robert E. Howard flavour. Yeah, so I was very invested in that. And they give a bit of a background of Solomon Kane at the back with an illustration by Howie Shaken. So they all round very, very satisfying. Hopefully they'll fix some of the printing issues, so it's not as dark in some of the pages. If the printing was better, this would be a 9.5, 10 out of 10. I absolutely love it. As it is, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Even though there's printing issues, I still absolutely adore this comic, this magazine, and I cannot wait for the next one to come up, which I think is going to be bi-monthly. This is a hint of next month's. I think you can still get it quite easily. I do highly recommend it. I mean, if you think about Marvel's charged us $6.99 for a 40-page Blood Hunt comic, or is it 48, something like that, and there'll only be about 30 odd pages of story. This is $6.99, you get 80 pages of story in here. Nothing's wasted. Really nice art, solid writing, really rewarding. If you get the ongoing Conan comic, this is a nice sister title to get alongside it. So yeah, I highly recommend this. My pick of the week. And yeah, do yourself a favour if you've not got it already. Do pick it up. Don't be put off by the size. It's fun. And yeah, really, really pleasant surprise. So I'm really pleased that's back. I hope this encourages other companies to resurrect some other old titles. I'd even love for Titan to get the rights from Quality Communications for Warrior Magazine and the House of Hammer, so they could do like a really good horror comic and like a mixed story comic. That'd be fantastic. But yeah, love it. Go and do yourself a treat. Do yourself a treat. Get yourself a treat. Okay, bye. Speak to you soon.